absolutely the welcome that England wanted. 1 point, no goals, poor return from the first 2 games in this group. This is the third top team qualifies for the finals by right. All the second-place sides in these European groups go into a playoff format, similar to the way England qualified for Euro 2000. And a win today will take England to second place in Group 9. Expect Finland to be disciplined, to be organised, to make life tough for England, but they don't have the tradition. Ranked 57th in the FIFA pecking order, a country that has a natural rivalry with Sweden, but I guess never in these circumstances.
No, absolutely not. They are a young nation in regards to football terms, Martin, and I think they'll get better and better, Finland. I think they'll improve. But Jari Litmanen in there quoted this week as saying that he feels, and this is a man with, what, his 69th cap achieving today, who says that this is the best Finnish side ever in the history of Finnish football.
Ian Callaghan is the guest of honour. Great Liverpool player, of course. 4 caps for England. He was in the World Cup squad of '66. He got 2 caps in that year. He got 2 caps in 1977 when he was recalled by Ron Greenwood. Behind him, Jeff Thompson, the chairman of the Football Association. And what a moment again. Chris Powell, the fairy tale goes on for the 31-year-old Charlton left-back. Andy Cole. Much has been made of the fact he's not scored a senior goal for England. What I can point out in his support, he scored half a dozen goals here at Anfield for Manchester United, for Newcastle United, and once for England B team.
Please stand and respect both national anthems.
Now the national anthems. personnel. What about the battle plans?
Well, it's going to be fascinating, Mark. No real surprise. Only announced today, but I think much known since around about Tuesday or Wednesday. For me, Campbell and Ferdinand did nothing wrong against the Spanish. No surprise then that they are picked today along with Chris Powell, Gary Neville at right back. That's a pretty decent back four, and of course the very capable David Seaman. In midfield, well, no Nicky Bambi. I think that's a bit of a blow for him, but he's able to pick a really well balanced and varied midfield. The passing abilities of Beckham and Gerrard, even Scholes, the running ability of the ball with McManaman, the threat of Paul Scholes running ahead of play and getting into the box. It's all there, Matt, but will it fit together? And then up front, well, I think this is the one question mark. Will they play together? Can they play well off each other? We wait and see. The first goal for Cole, you'll want it today. For the Finnish team, again, it's a variation, 4-4 and one off the top. Now, what this team's got is a strong spine for me, Mark, right down the middle. At the back, Upia and Tienan, vastly experienced players, will defend deep, I'm sure. The one thing they know about the players they're playing against, they won't want to give them too much space in behind. In midfield, that strength along the spine continues, with Rihalati and Vies in the middle of that, with Kolka and Nurmel either side. And then the strength in the middle again, up front. Jonathan Johansson's already proven he can score goals at Premiership level and at international level. And then the real star for the Finns. If they allow him to play, if he gets on the ball, there's absolutely no doubt that Jari Litmanen could harm them.
Andy Cole has drawn confidence from the new coach's confidence in him. And the boy wonder from the last World Cup, looking for England's first goal in the fight to be back in the finals. Our player cam for Sky Digital viewers starts focusing on Steven Gerrard. The officials all from Russia. Finland get the ball rolling at Anfield. And here's Rio Ferdinand, headed by Tikkanen, who had a good spell with West Ham, including playing here at Anfield. Ground Steve McManaman knows plenty about. Cole then has to put the brakes on. Comes back to Andy Cole.
Oh, that's always worth the goal. I think you love to see that. You're watching a team within a minute. First real strike in anger, it gets the crowd up, it gets them positive, it gets the players positive. They get a little bit of luck here. It's not well defended, I have to say. The strike's a good one. It's only the little arc on the ball as he hits it that takes it wide. Close, not quite.
By Passanen. Finland have got problems at fullback. They've lost 3 players who would be competing to be in the side today. They had to make do a little bit with Passanen, who's a centre-back, a promising one from Ajax, playing on the right-hand side, and Ilernen, who's normally really not much better than a squad player. This is Passanen, who played against England under 21s in Finland in October.
I think it's an area where they've been keen to get Steve McManaman on the ball, Mark. Get him on 1v1 against Passanen.
Here's Johansson fouling Campbell.
He'll be a threat, Johansson, there's no doubt about that, with his goal-scoring ability, Mark. But I do feel that because of the way that Finland are playing with Litmanen when they lose the ball, almost playing as a midfield player, that Campbell and Ferdinand should, with good communication, cope with Johansson.
Now Scholes with Rihalati not far away from him. Beckham chases, there's no flag. Niemi opts the punch, there wasn't much challenge on him. Scholes to Cole. Now the flag has gone up.
That was close, and that's Scholes is asking me. Very close, this one. Michael Owen also very central here. Whether Michael just strays, this is not good goalkeeping. Edgy goalkeeping, nervy goalkeeping. Is it Michael Owen, is it Scholes? Well, it's neither, to be fair. They get away with that, the Finns.
Well, England's World Cup archives recall the vital contribution of a Russian linesman. Well, we've got 2 of them today.
Double jeopardy.
Ferdinand. Cole's been very involved already. Gerrard. Gary Neville able to keep it in play. Well, knowing the range in Beckham's passes, McManaman was calling for it, but the captain couldn't quite get the length or the breadth that England were looking for in the build-up play. Nurmela catching Powell in possession. Hansen couldn't trap his teammate. Similarly, it's a lovely ball by McManaman, which Owen will keep in. Cole in the centre, Beckham coming in as well. Cross not deep enough for either of those two.
Good position from Hooper at the end. Finns were all over the place defensively there. It was this right-hand side of the defence that they exposed England.
Gerrard, McManaman.
I thought they were rather slow at the box against the Spanish mark, a little bit getting to know you, a little bit tentative. But whether Mr. Eriksson has learned from that, but they've certainly come out of the blocks at a good tempo in the game.
Even you're calling him Mr. Eriksson.
Well, I meant Sven, sorry, I know. If I do that again, slap my wrist, will you?
Well, every time there's need of attention for Steven Gerrard, there's concern. As I mentioned at the start, it is growing pains that he has. His body has developed considerably, the bone structure, and the medical men tell you that the muscles haven't quite kept pace, and having started the game, Gerrard immediately needing some attention. Here's Campbell. Look at Owen coming deep. It's a factor in Young's strategy to split the strikers, not to have two right up there all the time, where maybe the defenders like Kjærpia and Tihinen can mark them. That's an awkward challenge by Scholes on Littmanen. Manchester United on Liverpool, if you like. Listen to any reaction on that. Gerrard is back on.
I think half the reason no one was back there, Mark, was simply because Gerrard was off the pitch. The responsibility, Michael, took it, filled the hole.
Well, the giant figure, a real tower of strength, Sami Hyypiä, is there for Finland, on the move now as Nurmela takes. Cleared by Neville. Cross goes Ylönen. Headed on by Kolka. And then Tihinen's header, Gerrard. Suggestion is David Beckham's been rather sussed in the Champions League tied against the touchline. Hasn't been quite such an influence for Manchester United this season. Whether that will apply to international opponents, we shall see.
It's not so much to do with David's inability, Mark. It's to do with that, is what I've always said about playing wide in a position.
That's what I say, tight against the touchline.
You can nullify him easier, I think. You can just bring the wide midfield back to play in front of David Beckham and cut the supply to him. So if he's not getting the ball, then he can't influence the play.
Well,
whereas centre midfield, he can get on it himself and go look for it.
He's certainly gone central now, knowing the length in Gary Neville's throw. Campbell is up there, Tihinen heads it out, Scholes, cleared by Hyypiä. Back by Ferdinand. Hyypiä again, flag up. Well into his second Liverpool season. Good enough to be named in the PFA's top 6 after the first season.
Yeah, he's been an absolute sensation, hasn't he?
And you just feel that Liverpool have also acquired very well another Finn in Jari Littmanen, described in his own country as the greatest Finnish player of all time. Johansson, knocked forward by Gerrard. Cole linking up with Owen. He in turn with McManaman. And then Powell, slightly played into trouble, no real harm to England.
Well, Owen's not playing right up with Cole, but what he is doing, Mark, is a lot closer. I thought against Spain he was too deep. If you're going to withdraw Michael Owen to a midfield position, then you're better playing Paul Scholes in that area and doing that with just one up top. What he's done today, and I think absolutely right. Owen's threat and his strength is playing on the shoulder of the last defender and in and around the box. So get him up and in there as often as possible and get the ball into him.
Forward by Passanen, too long for Johansson. Owen, found by Gerrard. Space to move into. Came off Kolka. Lippmann saying, give it to me, but Hyypiä had other ideas. Here's Jonas Kolka, who plays for PSV Eindhoven, the leaders of the Dutch First Division. Backed up by Ylönen. Kolka again. Lippmann, who was the man of the match when these two countries met in Helsinki. Johansson couldn't cut it back. Well, David Seaman back in England's goal. His last cap was in Helsinki. And of course, the concern that he might miss out this weekend, like he did last, with a back injury that stopped him playing for Arsenal at Villa Park. Incidentally, Nigel Martin is the substitute England goalkeeper today. He's had a little battle won maybe over David James, who started the last two England games. Neville. Manneman straying in from the left-hand side, leaving some space that Powell can fill and Owen can fill. Scholes. Against Tillinen and Hyypiä. Beckham not wanting to just toss it in towards Cole and Owen, trying to be more measured. It didn't quite come off for England then.
That's what they need to do if England are going to toss it in and play it from wide areas. With no Shearer anymore, with no Heskey. It's got to be very, very accurate, the delivery from wide.
Scholes.
I think if you were Finland, you would be looked at that and you'd have said, OK, get nice and tight. If you're going to allow England the ball, allow them it wide and fairly deep and force them to deliver it from maybe 30, 40 yards out. And tuck throwbacks in and let the two centre-backs deal with it. Don't allow them to play through the middle. That might have been the game plan. They don't always work.
And made a full turn then, almost allowed Beckham to close him down. Ylönen. Looking up with Jari Litmanen and his Jakovis of Stockport County. Enjoying his first season in the English game, and he gets goals from midfield for his club. It's only Finland's third visit to England, all in World Cup qualifiers. They lost twice at Wembley, 2-1 in '76, 5-0 in 1984, in a match such was England's domination that left-back Kenny Sansom, who won 86 caps, scored his only England goal. Finland have certainly improved since those times.
Yeah, they must have done, because I think I got my first international goal against Finland as well, so they've obviously improved a lot since then.
Headed back by Beckham.
I think that's why you can look at records, Mark, and often be misled. I don't think you can pay any attention to the history between these two clubs. There's absolutely no doubt this is a far better Finnish side than there's ever been, and the only result you can really take into account is the last one. But England should have won that game, even though they weren't at their best, and there were a lot of things against them on the night. Still could have won the game fairly comfortably.
Yes, interesting. I was talking to Sami Hyypiä last night, and he said exactly the same thing. Maybe that was our chance to beat England. But here they are today. They bedded in at Anfield. Here is Hyypiä. Niemi, of course, very nearly got himself sent off in the game in Helsinki. He was probably lucky to stay on. He got a yellow card for bringing down Teddy Sheringham. Also a match in which Ray Parlour hit the underside of the bar and looked as though the ball had gone over the line. There was no Russian linesman then. He was French, if I recall.
But the game's settled now. England had a quick start, opening 5 minutes. Looking to get a quick breakthrough, it didn't come. Game's settled a little now.
There's a bad throw by Passanen that Stephen Gerrard got onto, and England building from that. Neville. Campbell.
This is where David Beckham had said earlier, the manager, the coach wanted to wander a little bit, go and get involved, don't stick to the right-hand side. What he's trying to do even early in the game.
And there he is intercepting from Numela's attempted pass. Gerrard had to play it forward under pressure, met by Ylönen. The intensity of the support in the provinces was very evident at Villa Park, and that was only a friendly. And the Anfield crowd looking to back England here, and Michael Owen in particular.
I think he went looking for it. No real complaint from Michael. Referee had a pretty good look at this. That's where I think England want Michael Owen working, that kind of area. If you can't get on the shoulder and the midfield area and get in behind, and get him up around the 18-yard box, feed little balls into him. Brilliant quick feet, good excellent movement, and when it comes down to him here, he probably gets away with a free kick there, but he's just looking to try and push it through and go. There's the arm on the shoulder, but it would have been a really harsh award of a penalty kick, that.
The arm belonged to Tihinen. Neville. The two central England there. Now they can widen the approach with power. Two up on McManaman. Steve McManaman, the first to admit this week that he hasn't really achieved anything in his England career, more than 30 caps. Another opportunity today, great place for him to play after all his years as a Liverpool player. He'll be looking to produce.
I think he'll be looking for a run, won't he, Mark, more than I think 30 caps is good. And Ireland go one down, but you do feel that what he wants more than anything, Steve, is a real run in the team. Being picked time and time again.
Ferdinand. That's a poor header by Ylönen, and then a poor ball by Andrew Cole.
That was a chance. I honestly thought Cole could have brought that down and gone at the back two. I mean, he really was in a bit of space, Andy. Tahinen's looked a bit nervy for me. Of all the defenders out there, you mentioned the full-back areas, Mark, but centrally Tahinen's looked less than secure for me at the moment.
There, that will give him a bit more confidence maybe, and when he got the ball he got a free kick as well. He played in that West Ham team that won in the FA Cup at Manchester United. Once his 3-month loan was up, he moved back to his Norwegian club. Numela's throw. Passon. Linking up with Litmanen. Broken up the play by Stephen Gerrard for England. Beckham's ball chased by Cole. Hyypiä was straining to keep up with Cole there.
I do think that the England front two have got the legs of Hyypiä and Tahinen. That's why I think that they'll not allow too much. They'll not get too tight to Andy Cole or Michael Owen near the halfway line. I think they'll give themselves 2 or 3 yards start. Hyypiä did then.
Real Artie's made a run into the centre. Litmanen looking to let rip himself. He's got the ball again. Just nudging it to Passon. Real Artie still in the centre. Johansson crossing from the right-hand side. Campbell deals with it. Numela, who trying to get a yellow card for that.
Hold on to some there, referee. The first real tackle of the game, 18th minute of the match. It's just a trip more than anything, but he's having none of it.
Well, the historians might point out that Finland used to be a part of Russia. No sense of favouritism there, the card out instantly. Hassanen just happy to get some distance to it. Kolka started to give some chase, realised that there's no great point expending energy like that. And England start again from the back. Ferdinand, who's been playing with his club Leeds United in a back four, often said about him in the past that his best future in international football would be in a back three. Should be the goalkeeper's ball for Finland. Niemi off his line.
Almost. Pretty good vision and a pretty good delivery. Looking for goal.
Watching our digital coverage, the player camera now focused on Michael Owen. Cleared by Herpy. Ferdinand let it run, maybe not anticipating that Johansson was behind him. Certainly the manner of that England win over Spain gave Sven-Göran Eriksson a perfect start, real impetus, impressive with the players, impressive with the public, but now it needs to be impressive in the search for points, and there's very little margin for error in this group for England. The draw in Finland maybe would have been seen as a good result if England had beaten Germany 4 days earlier, but the fact that they lost at Wembley to their main rivals in the group gave a different slant, of course. Scholes. Well defended by Ullinen. Quick feet from Kolka. Littman in that halfway position that he enjoys so much between midfield and attack. And he can so influence an international football match.
There's so many great players on Mark. It's the way he's just to get the ability. He almost glides over the ground. Lovely movement, beautiful balance.
He's calling for deep cross from Herpier, but he was trying to slide it down the channel from Nurmela. Didn't pick his target, and out come England with Beckham. Neville on the overlap. Good club understanding in the national team. McManaman for Beckham. What a blast!
Great strike, beautifully controlled, great technique. Bring that in 15 yards and have him doing that centrally, Mark, and he might well get more international goals. He's got that ability. Wonderful strike. Unfortunately, straight at Niemi.
Littmanen. Nurmela. Oh, no flag against Johansson. Seaman had to make the save. So action for both goalkeepers in quick succession.
Well, that's just lovely football, lovely run and lovely ball, but is he offside? He's borderline. Beautiful first time pass, he's onside. It's a lovely ball, and I have to give David Seaman full marks. Quickly out his goal for the block, the England goalkeeper. That's the threat. You know, they'll defend for a long periods in this match, but they have the ability, Finland, to test England at the other end.
Slide was Campbell. The shot from Kolka was nowhere near the England goal, but David Seaman had to be alert from Jonathan Johansson.
Well, having decided to come, he's got to go all the way, and he makes himself big. Doesn't go to ground. Good spread. No way past for Johansson.
David Seaman playing for his 7th different England coach, and he continues to impress. Wrist for the header. And back by Gerrard. And Tihin. Marco again. Johansson. Halfway through the first half. It's England's 3rd game, remember, in this section. They're still looking for their first goal. And Littmanen, who's got the ability.
Great effort. That's another quality of a good player, Mark. The ability to quickly assess the situation and do that in 2 touches. He ain't far away.
very upset, Jari Litmanen, yesterday when a journalist suggested to him that he wasn't match fit. He hadn't been playing regularly for Liverpool, and his eyes were burning with indignation at the suggestion.
Well, Steamer Redknapp says he works extremely hard in training and even does so much extra training when he's finished.
Nurmela. It's Litmanen's classy touch, supported by Wiss.
That was unlucky. That was a lovely movement involving Rihalati, Litmanen and Wiss. Only broke down when he tried to slide Johansson through. The two central midfield players for Finland at the moment, Wiss and Rihalati, are working extremely hard, Mark. They're doing a great job for the Finns and closing down when they don't have the ball, and also trying to get involved when they have it. It's a patience today for England. That's the thing for them.
It's Rihalati, who's just joined Crystal Palace. This is already known in the northwest of England at Stockport. Certainly, Mikael Forsell, also of Crystal Palace, is amongst the Finland substitutes today. Johansson getting a nod over him up front. They both played against England in the home game for Finland. Nurmela. Cole. Beckham. McManaman going to the right. And Beckham going for goal!
Well, I told you, didn't I? Bring him 15 yards infield. And my goodness, that's what he does, as well as any England player. He can go and drive forward, and if you back off this man, then he's not scared to pull the trigger. How close is that? I think it was 2 foot lower, and it's past Niemi, and it's given England the lead. Great attempt from the skipper.
39th international today. It still seems astonishing he's only scored once, and that was from a dead ball situation. Kolka. Find the Litmanen, but it's collected by Johansson. He's got Nurmela outside and Litmanen in the centre. Kolka coming in as well. Gary Neville has to play safe.
Not a bad ball. Just occasionally, Martin, they put a move together, and it's been particularly down England's left. You know, with Steve McManaman and Evan license to go and run and roam all over the place. There is a little gap, and they have exploited it once or twice. The Finns, it's a decent ball in.
And they've got the height to fancy their chances at set plays as well. Campbell picking up Herpier. He's taken the Spurs man right in by David Seaman. And Rihalati, goal! My goodness, Finland have scored at Anfield.
Well, that's dreadful marking from England, I have to say. You talked about all the big players there. But it's Rihalati who comes, just steps off his marker, that's all he does. There's a big deflection on this. I'm not quite sure who gets the touch. England player just in front of David Seaman, might be Gary Neville. Did the Finnish player get a touch on him? I'm not sure, just there, off Neville's knee. And past a helpless England goalkeeper, he can do nothing. He's probably got that cover, the England goalkeeper, but it's instinct from Gary Neville. He's trying to defend, doesn't get the leg up quick enough, can only hit the knee. My goodness. What a start.
England still searching for their first World Cup goal in the group, let alone the game, are behind. And that corner has exposed the weakness in England's defending. And the header by Rihalati, with some good fortune on the way for the Finns, but they lead at Liverpool.
Well, there's no time to panic, I have to say. 27 minutes gone, it is a huge blow to England, but it isn't insurmountable. Well over an hour of this football match to go. England are capable of not only scoring, but scoring twice, no doubt about that. But what a boost for the Finnish players, Mark. I mean, if they were full of resolve at 0-0 and at the beginning of the match, what must they be like at the moment? I think the big thing for the Finns and a big thing for the game might be the next, 17 minutes of this match to half-time. Can England peg it back before then? Or will the Finns hold out till then?
Passanen for Johansson, who got between England's two centre-backs. Couldn't quite curb the path of the ball.
Got away with that. Oh, he was offside, I'll tell you, Mark, because Yolonen over the far side had dropped about 10 yards deeper than any of his other defenders.
Here's Rihilati again. He's got Nurmela to the right, and he knew that, and he wants the ball to be clipped back. Nurmela took too long initially, but he's forced the corner off Chris Powell.
It's that side again, though, isn't it? It's been a good area for the Finns, Martin, just in front of Chris Powell.
So another corner for Finland, so soon after the one which led to them taking the lead. Nurmela this time. Almost came for Litmanen. Very coolly brought down by Scholes, and it's coolness that England need. And they've got an offside given against Owen to curb that forward momentum.
Has he made his debut yet, Mark, for Palace?
No, he was only signed a few days ago, and really to stiffen the midfield. He's got a good reputation as a player who can win the ball, who can deal with the threats of opponents in a marking midfield job. And he has now scored, although that one owed a great deal to Gary Neville, he has now scored 5 international goals. David Seaman having to deal with that on the edge of the penalty area, not sure whether he was inside or out. The header back by Powell. And England are uncertain at the moment. But it was the lack of marking of this man at the corner that has cost them so far.
It's Rio Ferdinand, Martin, I think we'll see here, who is with Rihilati. Doesn't get close enough to him. He's watching the ball, he just steps away from him. The goalkeeper's got this. Look at David Seaman, he goes down. I have to say, you can't really fault Gary Neville. He's got to try and deal with it. But you really have to mark people at this level better than that. You can't allow free headers from, what, 8 yards? Middle of goal? You tend to get punished if you do.
Larty plays it forward. Campbell. Somewhat more subdued atmosphere at Anfield at the moment. McManaman backing himself against Passanen here. The young defender is repositioned. Gerrard trying to whip it in early. Easy for this. Now Litmanen, but for once his control lets him down, and it's Scholes who seizes the ball back for England. McManaman.
See how narrow they got the Finns, Martin, and I think that's what I mean about, yeah, okay, go wide, cross it, and you should expect Hupia and Tahinen to at least contest against Cole and against Owen, but don't allow little threaded balls in between you.
Well, great responsibility on the shoulders of the captain, who's now the subject of our player cam, channel 404. England, of course, have had trouble with Scandinavian countries in the relatively recent past. I think of Sweden, Norway, Denmark. And now they're behind to Finland. Polka. Gulen. Johansson showing well despite the pressure from Campbell, and Finland keep the ball cleverly under pressure. Litmanen. Hupia. wants it to run. Johansson doing his best to stop that. Uli Stielicke here, representing the German camp. Germany, of course, in this group. And in action later today, you can see it live on Sky Sports 1, Germany against Albania from England's World Cup section, Group 9.
That's a free kick, no doubt about it. Just lent on Andy Cole.
Tihinen. Central defenders make their way forward. Beckham going to take it. No attempt to change the angle. Gets the bend on it himself.
Well, it's food for thought for the new coach. He's got work to do. He thought it began today. My goodness, it certainly has begun today for him. His first real test.
Headed on by Nurmela. Johansson has been a real hit with the Charlton his first season in the Premiership. Litmanen. The only thing Johansson again. A question of Finland resting on their laurels. They're looking for more. They've got Kolka's header.
Well, he attacked it, Gary Neville didn't. It was as simple as that.
Cole. Rihilahti helped Tihinen out then. Cole has got away from the centre-back. But now England have got a corner.
That's what I mean about him and Vismark. They've been absolutely sensational with covering the ground and covering for people.
Passanen who came across, but it's dropped back Beckham's way. And England have got no one at the far post. Several have been sucked more centrally. A little deflection took it out of harm's way for Finland. Kolka anticipating the back pass, but it was a good back pass by Neville.
Yeah, positive header.
Working a 2-on-1 against Nurmela. Powell's cross. Cole collects.
Ambitious. But from my mind, that's the first attempt England have had inside the 18-yard box. And that only just in. 4 attempts, 2 from Beckham, long range, and 2 from Cole, long range. Finns have had more at it and more on target. But now football's a game where you look at performance, Mark, you look at result. There's absolutely no doubt for England in order of importance is result. End of story. And the important thing is to have belief, to continue going forward, to work for an opening and take it. And then they might just pinch the game.
It's a handball by Rihilahti in the first place. Gerrard takes the free kick, looking for Beckham's run. Kolka, Litmanen, Steven Gerrard again, Scholes. He's working very hard to curb England in this midfield department, but Michael Owen can turn here. And deflected, looped up off Tihinen and behind for a corner. It would have been a comfortable save by Niemi if the defender hadn't got in the way, but he couldn't be sure.
Well, they are saying to England, Mark, if you want to hit a shot from 25 yards, feel free. There have been numerous occasions when they've backed away and backed away. Now, says it in, bit of pace, bit of bend, really trouble Niemi.
It's a corner again. I think it was Passanen who was marking Cole. McManaman. Oh, that did bobble up, I'm afraid, for David Beckham.
There's one for the scrapbook.
The Finland coach Antti Muurinen earned his reputation by guiding HJK Helsinki into the Champions League a couple of years ago. He's been in charge of the national team for 15 months now. And he must be very pleased with the way his players have followed his instructions so far. From Campbell, pressure on the Spurs defender by Wyss. Oh, it's talking and cajoling and urging maybe that England need at the moment. Campbell trying to supply it there. Remember, he was the captain in the second half at Villa Park after Beckham had gone off against Spain. Gerrard. A somewhat subdued atmosphere still at Anfield, with Finland leading England by 1-0. Here's Powell. McManaman. Again, Finland working very hard to get the throw, and Finland were looking for a free kick. Litmanen waited for Johansson to come to get the ball to feet. Good contest that, Ferdinand and Nurmela.
Yeah, read it well, Rio Ferdinand.
Rihelati. Read his clubmate's mind there. Rihelati once more. He's emerged as a very strong character. He didn't play against England in Helsinki. This is Johansson. And he got it shot away with some power and very well held by David Seaman.
Brilliant link-up play, the sort that England haven't enjoyed, Mark, between the two front men, Litmanen and Johansson. That said everything about them. Litmanen's ability to pick a pass out and Johansson's ability to hold off the challenge and get a very good effort in on goal.
It's a real test of English temperament now. McManaman looking to be positive. Offside again.
Yeah, they just step out here. It's very close as Andy Cole looks to go through. There's the step out then. But when they do that, it's amazing how many times the defending team gets the decision. Close.
Finland, the former Finland coach Andy said to me earlier this week that Finland would rather play here at a club ground, that they would be much more nervous at Wembley. Well, they certainly haven't looked nervous at Anfield, whatever the truth in that particular debate.
I thought they started feeling nervy. I have to look for opening 5-10 minutes. They were a little nervy, probably a little anxious. But having settled into the game, they've worked very, very hard. They've done everything people expected of them. They've set the stall out, they've been disciplined, they've defended deep, they've defended in numbers, they've worked really hard. You know, they've said to England footballers out there, are you good enough to create an opening? And at the moment, the answer has been no. Sven-Göran Eriksson's looking for more from his team. I think the quartet midfield players have got to start creating something in one way or another. A McManaman run and dribble and creation, a Scholes run and on the end of a cross, a Beckham cross or strike, or maybe a Gerrard ball. One of the four has got to, I think, be picking something out to give the front two something other than, you know, a shot from 25 yards.
Paul Scholes has had his hands full being an orthodox midfield player in the centre there. Hasn't been able to make those famous surges of his into the opposing penalty area. He often, particularly in competitive international, comes up with a vital goal. Cole. Back to Gerrard. In goes Rihelati, gets his foot to it. Johansson and Litmanen in close order again, understanding each other's play. But Gerrard sorts out his clubmate there. Jari Litmanen. Beckham. England looking to raise the tempo of their play. Gary Neville has skipped away past Julernen. Fizzed it across the face. Owen shot! 1-1. England have got a goal in World Cup Group 9. It's taken a long time, but in this match, it's come at a truly vital time. 2 minutes before half-time, and it's Michael Owen.
Well, what a big goal this might be, and it's a wonderful goal. Beckham's quick feet and then vision. He's wandered off the line and then he's picked out his teammate. Great feet from Gary Neville. Wonderful play wide here, and he doesn't panic. Picks out Cole. Again, great play from Cole, and what a strike from a man who's high in confidence at the moment. Bobbly ball, the deflection's vital. They're a little unlucky in that respect, much like Gary Neville was for the Finnish goal. The deflection's a vital part of it, but the build-up was first class, the best England have put together in 44 minutes of football.
Owen has scored in his last 3 Liverpool games, and the sequence carries on here for his country. It was Jarko Viss who just found the ball off the toe of his boot. And now you do hear the Anfield roar.
Well, I said they're a minute away from really giving Sven-Göran Eriksson his first major headache as England coach. Going in at 1 down, he really would have had work to do, Martin. Right on cue. Michael Owen makes that team talk a little easier.
It was Hupierre, and he got his head to it, but not dangerously for England. England don't want to hear the half-time whistle now. They press on again. Only 1 minute of added time. Owen. Run out by the head of Ulenet. Kolka. Gerrard. Steven Gerrard taking charge again. It hasn't been easy for him to do in midfield in the first half. Beckham. Gary Neville on the gallop again. Comes for Cole. Oh, fire, another deflection. There have been some inadvertent touches that have shaped history here.
Hupierre's right boot right at the end, Martin, might have just been enough to put Andy Cole off as it comes in. Cole stooping. It's actually a corner. You can see how well Hupierre did do at the end.
It's the finish to the first half that's lifted England's Swedish head coach and the England team after Finland had taken the lead. Michael Owen hitting the equaliser. Riolati had stunned the crowd here by scoring the first goal of the afternoon, but the force with England as the half-time whistle goes. The scoreline at Anfield, 1-1.
Huge relief. Jamie Redknapp and Peter Reid will get the thoughts of in a moment or so. 1-1 at half-time here at Anfield. If you're a lot happier than you were 5 minutes back, what about Sven-Göran Eriksson? Half-time reaction comes next.
Nationwide, the England team sponsor.
Me against Barrera. There's going to be a bang. It's going to be a war.
Tonight at 6 o'clock on Sky Sports 1, you can see how the Germans do. Albania, the opposition. 6 o'clock start, that is, on Sky Sports 1. So it's time then for the second half of England against Finland. The Sky Sports production available in widescreen, Dolby surround sound, and it's interactive as well. All the usual highlights there, including again today Fan Zone. That's for Sky Digital viewers. Here to rejoin Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Well, Michael Owen has put some smiles back on the faces here, but the scoreline not good enough from England's point of view at the moment. Andy Cole will be the subject of our player cam for Sky Digital viewers, channel 404, for the first 15 minutes or so of this second half. Incidentally, you missed it earlier, the England substitutes today: Phil Neville, Nigel Martin is the goalkeeping backup, Wes Brown and Nicky Butt from Manchester United, Emile Heskey and Robbie Fowler from Liverpool, and Teddy Sheringham from Manchester United. England start the second half, wanting to straight away pick up the mood and momentum that they showed the closing minutes of the first, and indeed the opening minutes of the first half, but in between long spells, as Peter Reid and Jamie Redknapp were saying, where Finland looked very impressive with their organisation, their discipline, their work rate. And Sven-Göran Eriksson, a man of great attention to detail, will, I'm sure, have prepared his team for what they've faced so far, but dealing with it, of course, has turned out to be another matter at times. Here's Scholes. Owen. Gary Neville involved in both goals. Scholes has gone into the centre this time. It's driven across to Cole by Gary Neville. He was looking for Scholes, Andy Cole. Campbell.
Just like to have seen him being a little bit greedier there, Andy Cole, Martin. He's maybe getting it down, getting control of it, and either pulling the trigger herself or testing someone.
There he is on the ball. McManaman. Still McManaman. No one at the far post for England.
Seen too little of that, I think, as well. First half, too little of his ability to run at players. I agree with Peter Reid. I think at 1-0, Martin, we might have seen a change. But I do think the goal put that on hold.
Well, Emile Heskey, you feel, particularly with the chomping at the bit. He's done well in England's last few games. He scored, of course, coming on as a substitute against Spain. He was the star performer in Italy and did well against Finland, playing in a wide position for Howard Wilkinson back in October.
I mean, I just think the left back here, Ylonen, is really poor, and I can see a situation if England don't get the second goal where it might be that they move David Beckham infield and bring on Heskey in a wide area. I could just see him really tearing them apart if he could get the ball to him with his pace and his power.
Hupia measured that to the feet of Litmanen. And then the player that Andy was referring to, who is probably way down the pecking order of fullbacks for Finland, who is playing today because of injuries to others. Beckham. That's lovely tight control by Litmanen. Plenty to admire from him again. A real star at Ajax. Possibly didn't really get the chance to show all that he was made of in his time with Barcelona. Yeah, using the long legs to good effect. Litmanen. Pakolka. Violati, pressed by Owen, but with the ability to hold the ball under that pressure and get a free kick, and he wanted the referee to brandish the card.
I have to say that Normela's free kick the first half was no worse than that, Mark. I think that's probably why he was. I hate to see players do that, I have to say. And when they do that, referee should just turn around and say, OK, then you want to see a card, here it is, it's yours.
Stop it, wouldn't it, straight away.
Yeah.
Tihina. Leaning into that was McManaman with the upper arm, it seemed. The referee was very close and allowed England to go on with Steve McManaman for Scholes. On one to Beckham. Oh, David Beckham! England lead, and the skipper celebrates. 4 minutes into the second half, England worked it well.
What a way to get your first goal in open play for your country. It's a fantastic build-off. McManaman again. Talked about him running at players, Martin, and this is what he did. Scholes' vision was first class, and well, that's just unerring. It really is a quite magnificent finish from the England captain. Across the ME, absolutely helpless, the Finnish goalkeeper. It's again a little deflection. This one only fractionally. What a game it's been for little deflections. With a happy coach now. What a start to the second half for England.
Well, England were in trouble, but either side of half-time, they've shown, well, real promise that they're going to sort it all out. Cleared by Campbell. This. Now Passanen. Ferdinand's header. There's another handball appeal there the referee turned down, and I just wonder about that one at the start of that attack from McManaman. I say the referee was very close to it. McManaman leant into the ball.
I think he did lean into it, but I think he got, certainly if it was handball, it was more on the shoulder than anything, Mark. He got the benefit of the doubt, Steve. And he didn't have to make it pay.
He did.
See, the Finns didn't allow that to happen in the first half, Mark. They never allowed anyone to drive at them centrally, the way McManaman was allowed to do then. Kept everything going wide in the first half, central areas. But that time McManaman was able to drive at the heart of the defence.
David Beckham made light of an awkward angle to score his second goal for his country, his first for England in England. As Andy says, his first from open play. You sense that the scene should be set here for the home team to really move on, and well, the third goal would surely mean the 3 points, which is what it's all about today. And here comes McManaman. Again, he knows about attacking the top end of the ground and all the history at Anfield, but Cowell is offside.
Pity. Chris Powell shouldn't be offside. He's looking right along the line. I think it's close. Yeah, it's very, very close, but he shouldn't be. The chance was there. A good overload in the middle, England as well. Amazing what a goal does to a football team. For 44 minutes, it floundered slightly. That strike, aided with a little deflection from Michael Owen, just transformed this game.
Litmanen, who just stole a millimetre or two on Ferdinand, couldn't cash in on that, has stayed down. McManaman unaware of that. David Seaman telling anyone who'll listen to put the ball out, but no one's listening. And here's Johansson. This is a strange one because Finland want to go on now. Litmanen's in some pain. But Johansson is looking for some gain here, and then finally he decides that the best thing to do is to give the skipper some support. And
he's holding that right forearm, Martin. I don't know what happens here. It looked rather innocuous. He just, well, he lands on it more than anything, I think. Might be the wrist. He's damaged.
The incidents here that led to England taking the lead. First
well,
of all,
this is where he leads in. You can high up. I don't think you're going to get away with that, but this is a wonderful finish. One touch, quick look. I mean, I don't think the deflection did an awful lot to that, Mark, but my goodness me, did he enjoy that? And every right to do. Fantastic finish. I think the beauty for England now is they don't have now to chase the game. But this will be a worry. We'll be quite pleased to see that Finn's most creative footballer at the side of the pitch rather than on it, influencing it, but it's much of a concern. That forearm.
Long ball from Turpia. Understanding that Finland's reluctance to make a substitution straight away, with Litmanen involved. So England playing against 10 men here, and the force is with them. Gerrard. Hilati.
I talked before half-time when it was 1-0. I talked about midfield players in England. The quartet hadn't really influenced the game, Martin. But suddenly, wonderful involvement from Beckham at the first goal. I know Neville did ever so well, but Beckham's ball to him was a fantastic one. Then McManaman's contribution.
Owen. And a little nervous. Villanen, who'd played the ball to Michael Owen in the first place. He was intending to do, but in the end he was able to just shepherd it back legitimately to Niemi. Harry Litmanen is back on. Goodness, now Finland need him more than ever. Vasanen. Litmanen. Finland were moving in a coordinated fashion. Some of their spirit has just sagged for the time being. Much made of England marrying together players from Manchester United and Liverpool, such club rivals. Well, Sven-Göran Eriksson has had a goal from a Liverpool man, Michael Owen, and from Manchester United's David Beckham. Scholes. And Gerrard through the centre. Ahead of Paul Scholes. Here he is. Back for Neville.
Springing the step now. England players looking for the ball, wanting on it.
Well, as Finland were doing when they were a goal in front. It's the basic psychology of the game. Invariably the side that leads looks the more threatening. The back. Beckham deliberately picking out McManaman, changing the point of attack for England. McManaman gets his cross in. Beckham to take the corner. Already a profitable second half for England. Campbell flattened Andy Cole in the end. Back on their feet now. Cole. Oh, against the frame of the goal from Owen. How unlucky.
Well, lucky and unlucky. I think Cole's headers, I don't think he's picking out Michael Owen here. I think Andy Cole's going for goal. Doesn't get it right, but my goodness, it dropped for Michael Owen, who did everything but to give England a 2-goal lead.
Johansson. Cross by Nurmela. Went in towards David Seaman. Suited England. Cole's offside. Niemi would have got there in any case. He came out very quickly.
Well, the ball came across, and as Andy Cole went up to head, look how well Owen does. What a great leap it was. Fantastic header. It really was. Niemi had given it up. He thought he's beaten. Very unlucky.
Campbell, Litmanen lurking behind him. Litmanen, Kolkar. Back to this. First touch just allowed Campbell to get in and make the block.
say Steven Gerrard took a chance there, you know, Mark. Bolka on the ball in the area, really committed himself to a tackle that he really didn't need to. He caught him, he got away with it.
Tackling's very much part of Steven Gerrard's game. Tikkanen's come up for the throw. The goal area there. A bit of a backing in from him. We concentrate our attentions now on the Sky Digital viewers using our interactive facilities and the player cam in particular. Steve McManaman, a growing force in the game. Scholes. Cole, backed up by Paul Scholes. We've got a good view of that and saw that Riss played the ball. Johansson too far forward for Finland. An hour gone. Not always a happy first hour for England, who've had to come from behind here. Later tonight, you can keep in touch with this group by watching Germany play Albania. That's live as well. Sky Sports 1 at 6. Of course, Albania home to England next Wednesday. Finding it harder to stem the flow as Gerrard skips past him. There's a discussion there between Gary Neville and his captain as to where he wanted Beckham to be, and others as well. McManaman, Neville's cross, defended by Passanen. Trying to glance it on, but he only found Sol Campbell. Powell had to play his way out of a tightish corner then, did it well enough, but McManaman, his ankle was tapped as he laid the ball off. Apologised to Powell for losing a possession that Powell had worked hard to retain for England.
Finns are about to make a couple of changes, Mark. You have to try and score a goal, rescue the game.
Well, on the left of your picture is Shefki Kuchi of Stockport County. Kosovo-Albanian by birth, a naturalised Finn. And also ready to come on. Many of you will recognise Mikael Forsell, who's technically a Chelsea player. They own his registration, but he's on a season-long loan to Crystal Palace and has played here already this season in the semi-final of the Worthington Cup. Nurmel is coming off. Haven't seen too much of him after that early yellow card. And Holkar. So both the wide men replaced. Now whether Johansson will move into a wider position to let Forsell play up front, we'll have a look. Both strikers. The two substitutes for the Finns.
You can't get more positive than that, can you? Might give England a little bit of space in that midfield area now.
Littman. Forsell down to business straight away.
Well, put Johansson left side, Forsell central, and Kuchi on the right-hand side. So they've gone with basically three up front and Littman just behind. So they really are committing themselves to getting this goal back.
So a poor kick by David Seaman straight to Johansson, his new position. And Scholes, who is going to get a yellow card here. It's his first of the group.
It's a typical Paul Scholes booking, isn't it, Mark? Nothing malicious about it, just clumsy.
Takes it, looking of course for Sami Hyypiä. The Liverpool connection for the opposition here at Anfield. David Seaman asked me to pass on his best wishes to his club goalkeeping coach, Bob Wilson, who's just had a hip replacement. He's watching in hospital. Best wishes to Bob. Here. With the free kick for Pucci, scored 3 goals in his last 2 games for Stockport County. Hasselman. Littmanen able to turn, and not short of attacking allies now, but he doesn't go for any of them. He went for goal.
Well, I think England have got to make a point of watching Littmanen mark that. The way they've gone now, the Finns, with 3 up top, that's occupying everybody in the back 4 basically. And then Littmanen cannot be allowed to pick up the ball in those sort of areas and turn and run. It's almost as if it's worthwhile saying to Steven Gerrard that, you know, you just get yourself around him. Forget the ball, but make sure Littmanen doesn't influence the play.
And he'd gone into space again there. In fact, Riihilähti looked for an alternative avenue for Finland, but he moved away off Steven Gerrard, did Littmanen. But England have got the ball. It's Littmanen who thought he'd got it back again for his country, but the referee pulled play back for an earlier infringement in England's favour. Job not yet done by Sven-Göran Eriksson's team. Still a quarter of the game to go. Gary Neville's free kick. Beckham, who's given England the lead in this second half. Got the cross in very cutely, and Hyypiä wasn't too happy about that.
Yeah, lovely play. A little example, if you don't need pace, if you want to create half a yard, he did it there beautifully. Little drop of the shoulder and turn. The job not done. When it's flags up at 2-1. It's been a wonderful response either side of half-time for England, but as the Finns only know too well, 1 goal lead is never assured at this level. Bit of work to be done for Sven-Göran Eriksson's side.
Peter Taylor and Steve McLaren by his side. Brains trust. Hyypiä. Behind Tihin on that occasion. Riihilähti down by Littmanen to Ylönen. She trying to pull out to the right hand side, but the pass really gave him no chance. McManaman. To Powell from Owen. Well, he's only played in one of Manchester United's last 5 games, so he should be fresh. He's had a domestic suspension, of course. Gerrard, who loves to hit them from long range. So the Liverpool fans are encouraging him to do that. Beckham back with Gerrard again. This time he whips it in early for Scholes. Great play by England. Andy Cole!
Well, they won't get a better chance than that. That was exquisite from Scholes. He couldn't have laid it on a plate any more for his mate than this. Gets involved in the build-up once or twice, but when this ball's dropped into the hole there, well, I have to say, Martin, you need to hit the target. He rather thrashed at it with his left-hand side. Maybe a more controlled, plenty of goal to aim at, a more controlled side foot into the corner would have been the one. But when you're searching for your first goal at this level, sometimes you tend to, on your weaker side, just opt for power. He hit the target, he scores, there isn't a doubt about that.
Pucci, who played against Sol Campbell recently for Stockport against Spurs in the FA Cup. But you can imagine next week, next Saturday morning, when we're back here, Andy Cole gets that chance for Manchester United against Liverpool. He scored 4 in his last 4 games here for United. That goes in, but today it hasn't gone in.
No, I mean, this is a great drop-off. Look at that from his goals. I know what you're saying about what outplayed in last 5 of United's last 5 games. Yeah, he will be fresh, but I always think that if a player's playing, i.e. Michael Owen, and scoring regularly, in much better shape than if you're dropping in and out of the side.
Owen, led by Tihina. Oh, the feeling here is in the last 20 minutes or so that more chances to come. Oh, there's a booking to come here for Steve McManaman.
Well, there will be chances in the game. The game is really opened up now. The Finns, who were controlled and disciplined in the first half, have decided that we're going to go for it. They've opened the game up by the substitutions. Full marks to them for that. So they've given themselves a chance, but what they've also done is given England a chance, and I think this is sensible. I've talked about it earlier. I think it's a real good option for England at the moment.
Littman. Good position there for Gary Neville. Just tucking in from right back.
I fully expect Eriksson to bring off a midfield player, Mark, and go light for light in midfield. Then he can say to Gerrard, you mark Littman, and tuck Beckham in. And then I don't think he'll take Scholes off. There's a fair chance it'll be Steve McManaman.
Littman. Always had to be careful with the situation there, where surely if he hadn't been booked he would have gone into a tackle. And there's a little bit of a possible flare up there. Jonathan Johansson, who's one of the mild men, didn't in the end carry through with that threat, and listen to the reception for Emil Heskey, another Liverpool player who's coming on for a former Liverpool hero, as Andy said, Steve McManaman.
Substitution for the England replacing number 11 Steve McManaman is number 16 Emil Heskey.
David Beckham's just trotted over and I work with Steven Gerrard. I think it's an absolute certainty that he said your responsibility is Littman, and if you do nothing else for the rest of the game, Stephen, that's your responsibility. He doesn't influence the game for the Finns, and let the 3 up top get on with it.
Sorry, Andy, it's just that England slicking it about there, cutting across you. Also, as you were speaking, Steven Gerrard just told Gary Neville that he got the instruction to mark Littman, and he was just pointing to Littman and say, it's me. And, but at the moment, Littman has just loitered away free. And England with some 18 minutes to go. Beckham having a word with the 20-year-old. Steven Gerrard winning only his 3rd cap, but I must say he's a very mature young man. He's impressed this week, talking about his injury problems. Owen, definitely impeded by Tihinen.
Lovely touch. Little glance of the head, and he knew exactly what he was doing near Michael Owen. He had made up his mind before the ball arrived, but it was just helping it on, and he was going after it.
No disrespect to Steve McManaman's aerial ability, it's not quite in the class of Emil Heskey's.
Big gap near post, Mark, if he can get a runner in ahead.
Heskey has gone to the near post, and he was beaten to it by Owen, who'd also seen where the space was.
He just filled it a little too early, if anything. Such was a gap there that they were anxious to get in. Sometimes you have to be a little bit patient. Michael Owen does come in a little early. Might have been better off leaving the gap and then attacking it a little later.
Gerrard's just passed Littman on incidentally to Sol Campbell, because he's one of the 4 up in a line for Finland here. Ferdinand challenging Pucci and fouling him.
Well, the Finns have certainly set the stall out, Mark. They've put a marker down. They said, well, we're either going to get a 2-2 or we're going to lose this 3 or 4-1.
Yulanen. Yulanen heads away from Tihinen's header. Tihinen goes in again. It's really knocked away by Gerrard. Plenty of height, not too much distance, but England now, this is what Heskey can do. He's got Beckham to his right, but Emil Heskey's seen a gap and he's going through it. And Herpier, his clubmate, challenges him and waves the finger at him. And well, the yellow card is out against Sami Herpier, so it is a foul.
Well, this will be a talking point in the Liverpool dressing room next week. Does he get him? Well, he doesn't, and that's his concern. Emil Heskey very, very quick to go to ground here. It's a fabulous run. But he handles him and he knows he's not getting there, and down he goes. And that's what upset his teammate.
Yes, I wonder whether the yellow card was going to go to Heskey, but it's gone to Herpier. The free kick has gone to England. And this, although it's not exactly the favoured side for a right footer, the right footer is one David Beckham. It was a theatrical save by Niemi, but
does make a meal of him, doesn't he?
He was made to work by Beckham. And I think a sense of justice there that England didn't score from the free kick that Heskey earned.
Well, he hits the target, works the goalkeeper. I have to say, he should be throwing his cap on it.
Forsell. That's a great run by Riss, possibly handball by him as well, but it's a corner.
Great play from Gerrard, Mark. You talked about responsibility, he needed all of it there. He picked a hole in the back four of England, and had Gerrard not taken the responsibility to track back, there was a chance.
Now remember, England conceded from the first half corner. Marking went awry.
It's about concentration now. It's about getting touch tight, which Rio Ferdinand wasn't in the first half. Covering people.
Andy Cole's come right back to Mark Forsell in the goal area. It's a high one, a deep one. Pucci. A trial of strength here with Heskey.
Well, he's done well. Done well to win a free kick. You'd expect Littman to provide better service than the corner. Rather too much on it. Very surprised if it isn't width of the goal.
Herpier. Kucci. Scene is on here for an England counter-attack with Beckham, the orchestrator. There's plenty of runners through the centre. There's no offside. And Niemi gets the header at least away directly from an England player following up, and then Riss sends Cole tumbling and is booked for it.
Well, you can't argue with that booking.
Five cautions in a very keenly contested and open international for World Cup points here at Anfield. And still open as far as the result is concerned, but England have the preferred position. They've got Steven Gerrard from long range. Goals from Owen and from Beckham after Finland had taken the lead. Forsell.
Just have to see this out, England. You'd think that they might feel they'll get another chance. Can they just take it and put this game beyond the Finns?
Littman. Finland put so much into their first half performance. Whether they've got the stamina to keep it going here. They've certainly got the strike power if they can get the ball forward, having made those two changes. And England as yet, despite chances, haven't given themselves the cushion of a 2-goal lead. Seaman starting to come. And Campbell clears it.
Well, I expected David to be more commanding than that.
It's a beautifully crafted pass by Herpier. So the cross, that was a wasted position for Passanen.
No pressure at all. Just got caught a little there, England, a little sloppy. Allowing Passanen so much time and space wide on the right. But they're not getting both at the moment. They're getting the result, but not the performance they'd like. But as I said right at the beginning, list of priorities, Mark. This result is uppermost now. Very much in his infancy. This New England coach, it'll take time.
What England, of course, haven't had is too much continuity. No.
Well, Robbie Fowler's been the one who'd be called back, the latest one. Another Liverpool player will be coming on at Anfield. This game isn't over, Mark. I'll tell you, with 9 minutes to go, at 2-1, and as long as it remains 2-1, the Finns have committed so many men into attacking positions. And they're decent finishers. When you look at Littmanen, Johansson, Forsell, they're all good finishers, given half a chance. England might pay for that goal miss.
David Seaman does come and fist it away. Passanen can take a touch and hit it back towards the crowd, but not really into the posse of teammates who are waiting in the centre.
Another one.
Passanen.
Again, that was poor inexperience from him when the ball dropped at the edge of the box. It was a really poor first touch. Robbie Fowler.
Well, it's a useful ally, isn't it? Someone who's scored more than 100 goals on this ground.
And
to come on for England.
Yeah.
And still no first international goal for Andy Cole. He'll know there should have been today with the second half chance. He was involved in England's equaliser in teeing up Michael Owen. That's a plus for him. But it's Cole off, Fowler on, 8 minutes to go.
Somehow you ring at Anfield, the front line of Heskey, Fowler and Owen.
Gerard Houlliou's actually away on holiday at the moment. He'd be very interested in all this.
Well, you can play them all at Anfield then, Tony. Oh, he told us he couldn't.
Gerard. His kick stayed in play, and it was collected by Heskey, and his pass collected by Fowler. Beckham, another goal here, and England really do wrap up the points. Beckham was a difficult one to defend for Passanen, and he needed to get a very good contact on that, otherwise it could have skewed away into his own goal.
Oh, Heskey's on there, front post, Heskey's on.
There he is. It's a Sheringham position.
They were just so slow to react. Full marks to David Beckham for spotting them and reacting really quickly.
So it's a David Beckham corner. Sol Campbell still looking for his first goal for England. Finland have never qualified for the World Cup finals or for the stages of the European Championship either. Forsell needed to beat one of his own players, Littmanen.
I was going to say best tackle of the day.
Calls for handball by Rihilatu then. He's had a good game, and this is Alan Smith made a shrewd signing.
Yeah, he's done well. Just rushed it a little there when he had time.
Passing. Rihilatu again, but only on as far as goals for England. And Gerrard. Heskey wants it on this right-hand side, appreciated by Steven Gerrard. Heskey looking to get up a full head of steam. She gets it back, it runs out of room. And Finland starting to run out of time. I don't think they've worked that one on the training ground.
Let's just see off the cuff.
Heskey. It was maybe blocked off by Tihinen that time. Littmanen. Gerrard in and still going strong in the closing stages here, and then Tihinen then stuck out an arm, and was certainly contrary to the prevailing spirit here, and this is the way to get revenge for Steven Gerrard, to get the ball back. In goes Fowler.
Really sloppy play from Kuchi. Really sloppy. They haven't robbed him. Gerrard was very quick to shove his teammate in here. One touch and it was into to Robbie Fowler. A little surprised he goes narrow side. I thought he was a certainty to go across the goalkeeper from there.
England go 2 against 1 at the short corner. Finland a bit slow to react. Beckham. Littmanen's got a runner, and it's Jonathan Johansson. England a little short of numbers at the back. Gary Neville goes across. Johansson going for goal, but the reinforcements were gathering for Gary Neville.
Great recovery, I have to say. Paul, Ferdinand, Campbell all did brilliantly tracking back there.
Three minutes plus added time to go. Hurpia. He's on the deck. And,
oh, I don't know. I'd like to see that again.
There's every chance you will see it again.
There's the ball, there's a touch. Oh, look at that again. That's borderline. Borderline.
There's David Beckham playing centre-back. Kuchi. England 2-1 up, but not now. They still are. Littmanen. They still are. West. They still are 2-1 up. But how? What a chance for Finland to equalise.
Well, if I said Andy Coles had a chance, this is just as good. This should be 2-2. End of story. It's a brilliant ball in from Kuchi. Full match to David Seaman. He gets across his line really quickly. He's big. He blocks it, but he gets his little bit of good fortune when it drops down again. What a chance for Finland.
It's no exaggeration to say it, but that's a save by David Seaman that could keep England in the World Cup hunt for a qualifying place. Petri Helin of Luton Town comes on for Finland, who have another corner. Kuchi, and then the Powell, and then Neville. Nervy closing moments here for the home nation. Finland have played a full part today. And they have a throw. Campbell. Balanced away by Fowler, back by Helly. 4 cell chasers. Littmanen. Seaman started to come out, thought he might get caught underneath the ball, reposition, calm down, says the 37-year-old who's been through plenty of these situations before.
There's a save. I think that's a poor header. I really do. It's a great save. I'm taking nothing away from David Seaman. He did brilliantly, Martin. But when that drops 5 yards out at Jari Litmanen, the one thing I think everyone on the ground thought was goal.
Forsell. And he's called it back, the referee, for the offside. England want to maybe just run down the clock a bit. Nicky Butt.
I think he might just want to take a front man off. I'm not sure. Yeah, might come on. I think they're thinking, hold on a minute, it might only be a matter of seconds. But this is pressure that's got to be seen out. By doing that, done his job, Michael Owen, got them back in the game. And now Butt comes on for whatever short time it might be to just protect that lead.
The next number that's gone up on that electronic scoreboard is 3 to indicate time added on. Finland making it a real fight to the finish here at Anfield. Niemi knocks it very long indeed. Campbell. Ferdinand looking to measure a clearance to the one player upfield for England, who was Robbie Fowler.
And we don't want to be giving away free kicks even there, because what it gives the Finns a chance to do, Martin, is launch it to the edge of the box.
Yes, Robbie was the fouler. Scholes for Power.
I have to say, I didn't think I'd be here today and be talking about England hanging on, but I'm afraid that's what we're seeing at the moment. It hasn't been a great performance from England. It's been effective because they're winning the game. But as the Ericsson reign goes on, they'll play much, much better than this, of that I'm sure.
Tihinen. Seaman realised he could let the pitch take the pace off the header. Hurpia. Litmanen, but Rio Ferdinand behind him, forward by this.
Two big headers by the centre-backs there.
Ricocheted off this to Forsell. Beckham having to work back defensively again. .60 seconds or so to go. Pucci, goal kick. Nearly there in terms of the bottom line today, which was victory for Sven-Göran Eriksson.
Well, what it has done today, Mark, anyone who got carried away at the result against a very below-par Spanish side now is focused and understanding that England have got some way to go, but they are on their way, and that's the important thing. And I think they'll get on better in that respect without all the hype and expectation that often surrounds England.
Forsell. Free kick
one
to
last
Finland.
chance. It's down, and I'm sure it's launched. It's can to get Hoopi out there. He's got to go. He's taking his time.
Oh, and Litmanen's come up with plan B.
Well, plan B better include getting it in the box, I have to say.
Well, the player who should be in the box has now got the ball to feet, but it's all over. England have won. That's what really mattered for Sven-Göran Eriksson. His team had to come from behind to do it against the capable Finland, and David Seaman had to make an inspired stop to save the victory that was earned by the celebrity skipper. David Beckham's goal early in the second half after Michael Owen had equalised just before half-time. Murinen's men played well and scored through Rihilahti, a deflection off Gary Neville. But it was tough in the end and a close call. But England have gone to second place in the group with 2 goals here and a first Group 9 win. England 2, Finland 1.
That's better. That's a lot better. Albania to come, of course, on Wednesday night. Before that, the Albanians played Germany, and we've got that live tonight at 6 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. Part of a terrific lineup of sports still to come today. There's Scotland against Belgium. Here, next, highlights.